Journalism is evolving. Where it once relied on radio, television, and even newspapers, today's news increasingly takes us directly into the experience with virtual reality. Virtual reality journalism doesn't just show you the news, it puts you inside of it. Whether you are standing in the middle of a refugee camp, walking through the remains of a war zone, or experiencing the environment of a drought hit village, virtual reality makes you a participant rather than a passive viewer. This immersive quality is what sets VR apart. It offers a sense of presence, a psychological feeling of being physically stated in a scene, and presence builds empathy. In digital broadcasting, virtual reality combines immersive visuals, spatial audio, and nonlinear narrative to flow and engage viewers more holistically. And a new dimension for journalists is gained. Now, how does VR work in the newsrooms? Creating VR content requires to understand first how to capture it in real life. This is the 360 degrees camera, a device capable of filming in all directions. Popular models like the Insta360, the GoPro Max, and the RT SC2 will allow beginner journalists to step into the immersive space. These cameras are often placed in fixed positions within real-life world environments. Unlike traditional camera work, this scene unfolds naturally, with no director calling for close-ups or wide shots. The entire environment is in the frame, and the viewer controls the lens with their gaze. Once captured, the footage must be stitched together. This process merges video from multiple lenses into a seamless spherical experience using tools such as the Insta360 Studio or the Adobe Premiere. VR editing is done carefully to respect viewers' freedom while gently guiding attention. Once it is finished, the final product is put in YouTube 360, and also there's Facebook 360 where you can watch. Now let's dive into the prototype analysis. In the DW prototype, virtual journalism is put into the test inside a refugee shelter. The scene starts with the placement of a 360 degrees camera in the center of the room. Its positioning is crucial, typically at an eyesight level, to mimic what a person would naturally see if standing there. Unlike conventional reporting, the journalist avoids appearing on camera. The audience doesn't need a guide walking them through. Instead, the story unfolds around them. The camera becomes the viewer's eyes. What's innovative here is how information is layered spatially. Infographics and captions are embedded into the environment. For example, a static or displacement might appear floating text above a child's bed, remaining fixed in its place even as the viewers turn their head. Sound design supports this immersion. Adaptive narration responds to the viewer's behavior, and if a viewer looks to the left, the audio might explain what's seen there. The interactive storytelling deepens engagements while retaining journalistic structure. The newsroom teams uses Unity to prototype the experience. They simulate the VR scene, testing flow and user gaze. If most testers ignore a key detail, the team repositions graphics or adjusts lighting to raw attention. This iterative design. Why is virtual reality powerful in journalism? Traditional journalism gives you facts. Virtual reality gives you feelings. That's the major shift. The power of VR lies in its ability to evoke presence. You're not just watching a video, you're inside the moment. In a drought simulation, you don't just see dry soil, you hear the wind and you feel the surrounding. This immersion fosters empathy. Academic studies confirm that virtual reality content is retained longer and affects viewers more deeply. This is why it's been dubbed, in quotes, empathy media, a bridge between information and human emotion. In broadcasting, this gives journalists an edge. A 2D video might inform, but a VR experience might inspire action. It turns news from something you scroll past into something that stays with you forever. In Kenya, where storytelling is central to culture, virtual reality holds huge potential. It can bring urban youth into rural classrooms or let voters explore political institutions firsthand. Who's using VR in journalism? Across the globe, leading media outlets are embracing immersive storytelling. The New York Times created NYT VR, debuting with The Displaced, a 360-degree story that places you alongside refugee children. Al Jazeera's AJ Contrast brings 360 cameras to marginalized communities, making the unseen visible. BBC News built a virtual newsroom, testing how anchors might operate in a mixed reality environment. Noni de la Pena, known as the godmother of virtual reality journalism, pioneered documentaries like Hunger in LA, built using Unity and real audio footage. These projects aren't tech gimmicks, they are serious experiments in empathy and access. They reimagine journalism as a lived encounter, not just as a delivered product. It's no longer a question of if virtual reality will shape journalism, but we must now come into terms. Tools and skills for virtual journalism. You don't need $1 million to start in virtual reality journalism. Affordable gear like the basic cameras and smartphones with cardboard viewers can give entry-level access to immersive filming. Editing is accessible. Free tools like CapCut Virtual Reality, Insta360 Studio, and DaVinci Resolve allow for basic stitching, trimming, and spatial audio control. YouTube 360 and Facebook 360 support uploads and viewer interactions. Prototyping is where student journalists can really shine, beginning with storyboards drawn in circles showing directions and sound. Use Unity or Shape XR to preview scenes and decide where viewers will look. This process builds essential skills in scene design, timing, and user psychology. It's no longer just about filming a subject, it's about curating a space. And in digital journalism, that is superpower. Challenges and prototyping solutions. Gear remains costly for many students. Editing time is intensive and viewer motion sickness remains a very big issue. Access is uneven in rural Kenya. Streaming virtual reality content is difficult without a stable internet connections. All these realities must be acknowledged if virtual reality is to be equitable. But prototyping solves many of these problems. You can simulate virtual reality scenes on paper or on desktop before filming. These low-cost solutions reduce waste and increase quality. They also let journalists experiment creatively without financial risk. As network access improves and mobile technology expands, Kenya is well positioned to lead in the cost-effective immersive storytelling. The future of VR in journalism. The future of VR isn't just technological, it's ethical, cultural, and educational. As OTT platforms evolve and digital fast broadcasting becomes the norm, virtual reality will play a larger role in content delivery and audience engagement. We can expect virtual debates during elections, immersive crime reportings, and historical recreation for education. Museums, courts, parliaments all could be explored virtually through journalistic lenses. In Kenya, where media is local, adaptable, and fast evolving, virtual reality has a chance to root itself meaningfully in the economy.